It was 2005, and I worked at a movie theater in Westgate Mall. There is no better job that exists on this sad planet than a movie theater. I loved every part of that place, the weird smells, the drama between coworkers, the chocolate almonds that I would consistently damage out for a snack during my 12-hour shifts. Everything about it was wonderful. I met my first girlfriend there. Love is more palpable against the backdrop of films than the aggressively patterned carpets that hide spilled root beer and vomit. She was sweet. She wore Converse shoes and had her nails painted in checkerbox pattern that I thought was just absolutely badass. If you think I'm bad at flirting now, I wish sincerely you could have seen me then. It was so much worse. I remember desperately trying to find things that she liked so that I could have any excuse to talk to her. Music was an easy common ground. She liked the band Smashing Pumpkins, and she was absolutely right. The first album that I bought her was Siamese Dream, and it's still a fantastic record. First time I held her hand, any hand really, we were walking around the mall during a rainstorm. I remember the initial accidental bump of wrists and awkward glances as we talked about something. My mind was swimming in anxiety and self-doubt. I have no idea what that conversation was. I didn't back then either. It was just fear wrapped in false bravado, hoping that the pretty girl was interested in whatever my dumb mouth was saying. The second bump of hands turned into a grab. I'd love to tell you that I initiated, but looking back, it was probably her. Same with the first kiss. I took her to Chick-fil-A to watch a cover band, and no, I am not joking. That was what 16-year-old Derek believed was the key to romance. Waffle fries and two older men covering REM in a dining room. Actually typing that out, that's not a bad date. Music and fried potatoes make for a pretty decent evening. My current date ideas are much worse. After eating our meal and saying goodbye to the musicians, I took her home. I walked her up to her porch, carrying the weight of mankind's chivalry upon my own two shoulders. And here's the thing. There's this moment upon which the razor's edge of desire and self-hatred hang out. It's awkward, full of too loud heartbeats and an already busy brain screaming every stupid thing you've ever done into your skull. She hugged me a little longer than I thought was normal, and then longer still. She turned her head slightly, and I stumbled into my very first kiss. The kiss was of the French variety, and I'm quite certain I didn't speak the language as well back then, but regardless, she didn't seem deterred, and I punched the air in celebration the entire drive home. Those voices of self-doubt finally silenced, if only for a moment. That early love is the stuff of magic. I've been thinking about it a lot more lately. There's a certain callousness as we get older. Dating changes, for the worse in almost every single way, but here's the thing. When it's right, I think you still get nervous. At that strange place before you know if this other beautiful human actually likes you or is just enduring your endless references to the HBO hit series Silicon Valley and praying for a free meal, it's almost the same as it was at 16. Asking that cute coworker to watch a band at a fast food restaurant. The tightness in your chest, or the false starts holding hands, or kissing her goodnight. It's different, sure. My hormones have settled considerably, and while I still hate myself, I'm a bit more confident than I ever was as a street youth. Thing is, I worry about it ever becoming too comfortable, too common. I want the butterflies. I want to drive home punching the roof of my car and calling my best friends when I kiss a pretty girl for the first time. I want to hang on to that weird part of the human experience because it's a reminder of a version of myself that still saw the world around him as endless and varied paths to a future that I could shape for myself. It takes me to a world that still feels vibrant. I'm bad at dating. At this point, you can make a great case that the issue is an internal one. I've met some truly incredible people and only a couple of really terrible ones. And in that, I'm lucky. Most recently, I dated perhaps the kindest and most intelligent person I've ever met. That's a gift. But the strange eventuality is that things tend to fall apart. But as a romantic dude in his 30s, I somehow haven't stayed discouraged enough to give up. At least not yet. Despite the evidence of overwhelming odds against the story I keep rewriting in my broken and stupid head. But Broken and Stupid has earned me some great stories, some mediocre songs, and a life of more adventure than I really feel like I deserve. So, I'm gonna keep making bad choices, stumbling around and chasing that feeling just before I hold her hand. Because everyone wants to be loved, and that magical feeling, yeah, it might fade a bit eventually, but if you're really clever, I think that you can find a person that wants to keep it alive just as much as you. At least I hope you can. I'll let you know the next time I think I've got it sorted, but till then, don't ignore those big feelings in small gestures, and remember that even if it feels like no one else does, I probably love you.